A 6 to 8 minute speech entitled An Abnormal Death on Normal Street. Please help me welcome Helen.
Thank you, Vanessa. I was one of the millions of people who was caught up in the royal wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I set my alarm for 4 a.m. on Saturday, May 19th. Perhaps you too were caught up in this highly publicized event. One of the many interesting traditions which took place was when Meghan's bridal bouquet was placed at the tomb of the unknown warrior. This tomb holds the unidentified body of a World War I soldier. We have a similar tomb in Arlington National Cemetery. In modern times, a tradition has developed when a tragic death occurs, or deaths occur. People place candles, flowers, and messages expressing their sorrow about what happened. This morning, the death location of a homeless Marine veteran no longer has the one small plant covered with white flowers which were growing there on May 4th. Allow me to take you back to less than a month ago. I have always said I would like to die in my sleep. My assumption in this desire was that my transition into the next life would be peaceful and therefore pain-free. On the local news of April 28th, I learned something which deeply upset me. The newscaster said that on Friday, April 27th, just after 11 p.m., Derek had his life snuffed out as he was sleeping on the sidewalk outside the Department of Motor Vehicles on Normal Street. Reportedly, the man was a homeless Marine veteran in his mid-60s. This man probably did not die peacefully because the vehicle, driven by an intoxicated driver, crashed into parked cars before jumping the sidewalk. The medical examiner's investigator is still attempting to locate Derek's next of kin. If the next of kin are not located, or are located and don't wish to claim the body, he will be cremated and his ashes will be interred at the Miramar National Cemetery. He is not an unknown veteran because his identification card, issued by the DMV, was found in his pocket. I find a certain irony to this because if the service member had been killed when on active duty, his family, designated on his DD 397, would have received a $100,000 death benefit. Recently, San Diego housed 1,000 veterans under the Homes for Heroes program. I think you'll agree with my thinking that Derek would be alive today if he'd had a home. We're spending hundreds and thousands of dollars to house homeless veterans, yet whatever help may have been available or even offered to this veteran was not accepted. This veteran chose to sleep on the sidewalk in front of the Department of Motor Vehicles on Normal Street. This decision cost him his life. San Diego County covers 4,526 square miles, and yet this tiny section on the sidewalk in Hillcrest happened to be in the path of a drunk driver who quickly drove away after momentarily getting out of the car and noticing what she had done. I care about our veterans. When I see men standing in the street medians holding cardboard signs proclaiming they are veterans who are homeless, hungry and need help. It saddens me. My assumption is that something occurred in their military service which has prevented them from going on successfully with their lives. We know more today about post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic brain injury. We realize that individuals suffering from psychological and physical pain resort to drugs and alcohol. We're now learning that exposure to Agent Orange that happened in Vietnam can have long-term consequences on a soldier's health. Once a month, there's a meeting of the San Diego Veterans Coalition. The coalition is composed of individuals representing a wide variety of organizations established to meet the needs of veterans. I do believe that the people involved in the San Diego Veterans Coalition are deeply concerned about the challenges facing veterans today. At the conclusion of their meeting on Friday, May 4th, which took place at the Braille Institute, I announced that I would hold a vigil at the death site of the veteran run over and killed outside the DMV a week earlier. I announced I would be there at 11:01 p.m., which is the time of Derek's untimely death. I followed through on my announcement. I was there with a candle and a flag. Nobody showed up but me. I'm not complaining. I'm just making an observation. It was a long, quiet vigil. Few cars drove by, and even the fewer pedestrians walked by. The only person I spoke with knew nothing about the death. I feel that we as a community need to find out what is needed so there will no longer be veterans who are holding signs in street medians, sleeping on sidewalks, rather than safe in their own homes. After an hour, I proceeded to get in my car to go home. I chose the logical course, which was to drive forward and then turn right onto University Avenue. Even with my car's windows up, I heard sounds which puzzled me so much that I actually rolled down my window to decipher what I was hearing. It was music and many excited voices. There was an amazing number of people crowded into one small section of the sidewalk outside a bar. Since July of 2017, I've been advocating that the former Chargers headquarters at 4020 Murphy Canyon Road be a military and veterans resource and recreation center, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The people crowded outside that bar on University Avenue were clearly having a good time. It was quite a contrast from the quiet spot just a block and a half away where I had concluded my vigil to honor a deceased veteran. I can't guarantee that the Military and Veterans Resource and Recreation Center would be as alive today with fun, and that 11:01 on a Friday night that Derek might have been there rather than sleeping on the sidewalk and had his life snuffed out on Normal Street.